So far, we've talked about the farming and forage mastery in the previous videos. Now it's time for my personal favorite, fishing. As always, if you haven't seen the mastery overview video, you should watch it. Otherwise, let's get into it. For this mastery, you get a new tool, the Advanced Iridium Rod, a new crafting recipe for challenge bait, and a chance to now find golden treasure chests while fishing. First, we're going to talk about the challenge bait, since I'll be talking about it in the Advanced Iridium Rod section as well. As a crafting recipe unlocked in Mastery, it's surprisingly cheap at just 5 bone fragments and 2 moss for 5 of them. If you're having trouble finding bone fragments, you can usually find a bunch of bone nodes at Ginger Island dig site, and they drop from skeletons on floors 71 to 79 of the mines and in the Quarry Cave. As the name implies, it's a new type of bait, and it comes with the same bite speed bonus as wild bait, cutting the average bite time down by 63.5%, which is only beaten out by the new deluxe bait. When using it, a perfect catch will always reel in 3 of whatever fish you're catching, but each time the fish leaves your fishing bar, the amount you catch decreases by 1. So if it leaves 3 times, you'll fail the catch. It's a risk and reward that incentivizes mastering the fishing minigame, and is one of the additions in 1.6 that makes fishing a genuinely good moneymaker in the late game. To best utilize it, you'll want to find an area that has a good average price of fish without it being too hard. This is going to take a lot of playing around with to find the right spot for you. A couple of solid spots I've found are the Mountain Lake and Ginger Island. I specifically enjoy Ginger Island West during the day. At night, super cucumbers come out and they can be a pain, at which point I move to this pond for the blue discus. This has a really nice synergy with the Statue of Blessings from the farming mastery. If you happen to get the Blessing of Waters, which makes the first 3 fish you catch for the day significantly easier to catch, you can go for lava eels at the volcano. While normally it's very hard to use challenge bait on them, now they'll be as difficult as a rainbow trout, which isn't too bad. If you manage to catch 9 iridium lava eels, that's a fat 52,920 gold if you smoke them with the angler and artisan professions, for 3 fish catches. Of course, if you're goated, you can get that kind of money all the time, but I'm not. As a final note, just like with wild bait, catching multiple fish does not give you more experience. The game will always calculate it as if you only caught 1. Second up, we have the new tool, the Advanced Iridium Rod. Now, in addition to the 1 bait slot, you can now equip 2 bobbers at the same time. While that sounds simple, it enables you to do so much. I think the best way to explain it would be to give you a couple of example loadouts. The first one I call the minigame skipper. Not a fan of the fishing minigame. Use deluxe bait and a cork bobber for a super large fishing bar, and then add a barbed hook to get it to cling to all but the most difficult fish. You don't have to do a darn thing. Ideally, this will be used alongside a fishing buff like Seafoam Pudding, although that's true for pretty much all of the loadouts. And heck, you want to fully automate it? Get the auto hook enchantment on the rod. Yes, the Advanced Iridium Rod can be enchanted. At that point, literally just toss it and sit back and relax. So I wanted to test this build out, just so I could tell you how hard of a fish you could go for with this build and not have to touch anything. What do you think is on the hook right now? What's that fish that's about to be automatically caught? That's an octopus. So there you go. The Challenger loadout aims to make the most of challenge bait and get the highest chance we can to get perfect catches. So we'll of course rock the challenge bait, and then 2 cork bobbers to make our bar as big as possible. We'll also rock the master enchantment for a little bit more bar sized and higher quality fish. This should allow you to go for a bit more expensive fish than you'd normally be able to. Next, if you're trying to find one specific fish for whatever reason, maybe cooking recipes or the fishing derbies, the target loadout is for you. You're going to use targeted fish bait made from a bait maker. This means you'll have to catch at least one of the fish you're targeting without the bait. For bobbers, we're going to use 1 dressed spinner to speed up the catch time, and a sonar bobber to let go of anything that isn't the right fish. Or if you just want to catch anything that pops up, you can use another dressed spinner. And the idea here is to catch as many as we can and save time. Surprisingly, the auto hook enchantment is the best for that. Think about it this way, the average human reaction time is 0.6 seconds, so every time you hook a fish, you're saving 0.6 seconds of reacting. And last, the Legend Hunter. So there's a very specific strategy you can use that involves hunting for the relatives of the legendary fish during the short 3-day window of the extended family quest from the Walnut Room. The most important thing here is the enchantment, which will be preserving. This is because we're going to want to use targeted bait, but a whole legendary fish is a lot to give up, so the preserving enchantment will stretch that out by saving the bait 50% of the time. It will also prevent the curiosity lure of being used up 50% of the time, which raises the chance of specifically catching rare fish, which includes all legendary fish other than the glacier fish. And last, a quality bobber, because you will not be getting perfect catches. And because we're not using any bar size increases, I'd say that Seafoam Pudding is a must-have here. I want to expand on this specific loadout because I think it's really interesting and a fun way to make some money. The best fish to go for if you think you can handle it is the Legend 2. Issue is, it can be a bit rarer than most other legendary fish, so every single part of this loadout is absolutely required, and you'll want to make sure that you can catch it every time you hook it. And there's a huge profit difference between gold and iridium quality, so the quality bobber cannot be compromised for a cork bobber, trap bobber, or anything like that. Personally, I like to go for the Son of the Crimson Fish. It's much more common, it's easier, and it sells for the second most out of all of the legendary fish. It tends to be a slightly less stressful experience. And let's not play around. I know you want to see it. The largest possible fishing bar. Well, first, during the Desert Festival, we're going to go here and order at least the shrimp. That gives us a +3 fishing buff. We can choose anything else. And the reason we grab that is because it's a +3 fishing, and we can actually stack that with Seafoam Pudding, with key seasoning of course, giving us another 5 levels. Our fishing rod here has the Master Enchantment, giving us effectively another level of fishing, and then Deluxe Bait and Cork Bobbers, all of which increase our bar size. Doesn't really matter what we catch, that is over half of the entire bar. We have reached more than half. Genuinely insane. Lastly, you now have a chance to find golden fishing chests. Very simply, in a case where a chest would show up, there's a 25% chance it is golden. This golden fishing chest, similar to the golden mystery box, leans towards what some of the game considers rarer items, mostly by completely ditching the 12% chance of mixed seeds and slightly lowering the chance of getting crafting materials, artifacts, gems, and equipment, while the chance for catching experience books, golden animal crackers, mystery boxes, and rice shoots are increased. There's also a 70% chance of one of the following items being in it in addition to what you would have caught normally, none of which are available in regular chests. These are iridium bars, the new 1.6 seeds, fairy dust, challenge bait, magnets, pearls, a couple of foods that give fishing buffs, and perhaps most importantly, star drop teas. This is the only way to essentially grind for them, as all other methods are quest rewards. So the rewards can be pretty good. You want to maximize your chances to get fishing chests. What do? Your base chance to find a chest at all is 15%. Your 2 largest buffs are going to be using magnet bait and having the pirate profession at level 10 fishing, both of which increase your chance by 15%. Now that you have 2 bobber slots, you can equip 2 treasure hunter bobbers, which add 5% each, adding 10% total. You may or not want to wait for a good luck day. At the best possible luck, you get a 5% boost, and at the worst possible luck, you get a 5% decrease, with an extra 1.25% if you have the special charm. Rabbit's foot at the Joja Mart truck after finding the secret note. We go over this a lot, but it's still important. And then you get a 0.5% boost for every point of luck you have from food and drink buffs. Max this out by wearing 2 lucky rings, eating a magic rock candy, and drinking a ginger ale, ideally with key seasoning used on it to make it gold quality. That's a 9-point luck buff, giving you an extra 4.5%. So highest possible chances, you've done everything. You have a 65.75% chance of getting a treasure chest on each fish you catch. Unfortunately, we have to cut that down by 4 to determine how many golden fishing treasure chests you get. Then it would be 16.44%. So considering how long it takes to catch a fish, that's pretty dang rare. So this mastery is definitely only for you if you really love fishing, but it enables what is probably one of the best money-making methods just behind Starfruit Wine. Next up on our list to tackle will be mining mastery. Thank you for watching, see you in the next one, and good night.